Hello, my name is Second, and we are playing TNP Limitless 7. Now, between episodes, I've actually done a lot. Almost like I did a whole episode's worth. Yeah, I basically did, and forgot to have OBS on to do any of the recording. So basically, I sat here for a bunch of hours intermittently talking to myself. We got into industrial foregoing, and it is largely the same as it was when we did it in FTB1. You start out with these fluid extractors that take latex out of wood. They're not too bad to make. It's just stone, these machine frames. We have the latex over here, hooked up to our refined storage system, so we can send it through a latex processing unit and turn it into rubber. Now, there is no more tiny rubber step. That's been removed. You just get the full rubber now. And then we made this dissolution chamber to make upgrades and more powerful machine frames for more complicated machines. Now we have this structure out here. We got some sheep, and we got a feeder. As you might expect, the feeder feeds the sheep and they breed. And they make babies. This animal baby separator moves the babies into this little holding chamber, and then when they grow up, another animal baby separator set to adult moves them over here, and then this mob slaughter factory turns them into pink slime and liquid meat, which we're pumping the pink slime back into the base. Now we use that pink slime to get machine frames to make this thing right here, or laser base. Surrounded with laser drills. You can look up the recipes in JI. We did have, as you might guess, this mine's ores, and we've got light blue laser lens in it to give it a slight preference for diamonds, another light blue ore. We are in a vanilla biome, and that's on purpose. I originally did this underground in what happened to be one of the fancy cave biomes, and it didn't work. This does have some whitelisting and blacklisting with biomes. It used to be in the config. It might still be in the config. But it didn't work down there. It definitely works up here. And then we've got the chunk force loaded, and we're sending this stuff back to the base. All stuff that we did in FTB1, all kind of the beginning stuff you do when you get into industrial foregoing. Yeah, this is the stuff we're getting from it. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but we were running low on diamonds, so I thought we'd get that together. I'm sorry I didn't get it on video, but plenty more in this pack to do. Now, I wanted to look at trying to finish some things off today. Notably, the cooking for blockheads and farming chapter is almost done. We do need to make a toaster. Now, I think in the past the toaster hasn't worked for me. But it may work today. Because things, I don't think I've tried a toaster since 1.12. So let's see, there's a lava bucket. We'll need the button. Alright, there it is. Let's bring some bread along, just for laughs, right? I'm sure we can do a stack of bread. And then there are two more things in the quest line. Fertilizer. Okay, red and green. Let's see what's up with it. Green fertilizer increases output. We just need some green dye. I'll bet these are all up one. Yep. Okay, green fertilizer and then red fertilizer. We'll just we'll grab a little bone meal. We'll grab a little red dye. And we'll have our red fertilizer. And that'll finish off the chapter. Let's see, we could probably pop it down right here, right? So let's see, do we put bread in it? We sure do. And now we, okay. Awesome. And now it's toasting. Okay, yeah, this totally works. That's so cool. Now another chapter we've technically finished already is Botania. We've just got optional quests yet, but I want to do as many of those as we can. So, yeah, once again, we lost an Elementian. That's okay. We've got quest for the gear. The gear is, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pixie centered. They have a good chance of summoning pixies. This one has a 17% chance every time you get hit. This is 11, that makes it 28, and there's more. So we've got the helmet, the leggings, and the boots. We gotta turn the sound down. I can't hear that. That big completion noise done every time we do this. Okay, we've also got a great fairy ring. And this thing is cool. This, just summons pixies. It has a 25% chance of summoning one every time you get hit. I don't know if we have, well, the poison resistance has been real handy. So I think we're going to keep the poison resistance and just put this ring in a box somewhere. We just need some pixie dust. There we go. And here's what the Elementium armor looks like. It's, you know, it's pretty fancy. I like it. Now, I said these summon pixies. I didn't say what they were. You remember those little black guys with the wings when we were fighting the Gaia Guardian? Those are like dark pixies. These summon like little white ones, and they just kind of like move towards whatever's attacking you and do some damage and go away. They're, you know, that's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. I would prefer the much higher armor points and armor toughness, so that's what we're going with. Now we are going to need to make another Sojourner's staff. We did something with the one we have. I think we made it into a Planestrider's sash. This Globetrotter's sash will give us step assist, it'll give us jump boost, it'll give us speed. We're already using our belt slot. For this right here and for this right here, I guess we don't really need the crystal heart anymore. But we're probably not going to use the Globetrotter sash. We move pretty fast with the jetpack. Now, all that's left is the Terra Steel stuff. We are almost ready to make a Terra... Well, we'll have to make Starcaller, but we'll need Terra Blade to make that. We're getting... Oh, there's one more spark we haven't made. That's right. We haven't made the isolated spark. So this will isolate a mana pool. Oh, we're gonna need a rune of air. Okay, there's our isolated spark. So while we're waiting for the Terra Steel, well, we got the Terra Steel. We're waiting for Iron B. There's some more gold. Waiting for another 4% worth of Iron B genes. It's going really slow for some reason. It's a bad luck. I wanted to get farther into Apotheosis. We've checked out a lot of the spawner mechanics, but there's also this stuff, and I know we just did this in Road to the Warrior 3. So let's see, how will we go about... Well, we could use a bottling machine, or we could use a regular brewing stand. With a bottling machine, we'd need a mixer. Okay, I think we're just going to do a regular brewing stand. Now we're going to need 19 potions of regeneration total, because we're going to need to make 19 hell shells. Let's get a little bit of blaze powder. Get this going. Okay, we got 19 hell shells. That's awesome. we're gonna need an enchanting table. I'm sure we have a couple lying around. We got that advanced enchanting and advanced enchanting infuser. That's also a quest, but we need the middle tier. Now, where are we gonna put this stuff? Maybe we'll put it right over here. Let's see. That'll do for now. Now what we want to do, I think I have one too many over here. Let's see. Oh, and I took out some terracotta. Where'd that come from? I don't know where it came from. Alright. Because we should have 4 left over, right? Okay, yeah, there we go. What we need to do is enchant each of these at level 45 to get infusion. It's the hell shells that let us get to 45. That's that Eterna stat. At each point of Eterna gives you 2 levels of enchanting to work with. So 22.5 means you can enchant level 45. Alright, we're just going to do this one by one here. Okay, 4 infused hell shells. Now, what we want with them immediately is to make an enchantment library. Now what we're going to need is some ender chests, so we'll need some eyes. Here we go. And this thing is awesome. I'm going to pop it down right next to, maybe we should have it downstairs with the soul enchanter and the experience fountain. Oh my gosh. You believe this guy? Now what you do with this thing is you fill it up with magical books. And then you can take it back out for a cost of experience. So why would you do this? This thing, in addition to being much better for storage, these things never stack, it'll remember the highest tier of whatever enchantment you put in. So we could take Fire Protection 4 out, I think, once and have 2 points left over. We wouldn't be able to do 4 because we only had 2 points, but if we filled it back up with Fire Protection 1, up to the point where we had 8 points, I think it is, we could take 4 out again. So everything you find, all you need to do is find, Unbreaking 10 once. And then you'll have, as long as you have access to Unbreaking books of any level, you'll be able to get Unbreaking 10 whenever you need it. Now, another thing that we can do is, so we'd want to go, it can do 40? So that's probably too many taken away, right? Yeah, that gives it 39. Let's see. Yeah, okay, we can get infusion at 42. It really only costs 40. But with the hell shelves, this is as close as we'll get. Now these infused coins is what the wandering trader has been asking for those fancy trades. So we'll want to start collecting those. Now I did by accident put Tombstone Soulbound onto one of these. We can take Tombstone Soulbound off, but once the coin is infused, that doesn't come off in the disenchanter. Okay, now we know. This guy here has a perfect example of what all of this is for. So, and let's get the netherite up. Oh, really? You don't want it? You don't want it. I wonder if it's messed up. This was the whole point of the exercise. It doesn't like the netherite. That's really weird. Okay, well, we'll check with another one of those guys. Maybe that doesn't work. Okay, we at last have another 100% iron bee gene sample. So let's get an egg, and let's go ahead and craft it up. I'll pop it in here in the incubator. We'll increase the tick speed. There we go. Now, we will need another mana bee spawn egg, or mana steel bee, I should say, and 2 full pools of mana. And this will give us a Terra Steel bee. Did not take 2 full pools of mana. That's okay. That was more like half a pool total. I was waiting around for nothing. Alright, but let's get in here. We got a block of Terra Steel. Now the bee's in. We're in good shape. Now it looks like the enchanting infuser is not hard to make. We would just need, we'd need a book. Let's make a book. Here we go. And what was the other thing it said we needed? I already forgot. An enchanting table. That shouldn't be hard. We'll just have to make another book now. Now this thing, we'd put stuff in here and then we'd pick the enchantments we want based on the level. So if we had something that wasn't enchanted, let's say, this gold shovel. Throw it in here. Pick all of these enchantments. It would cost us experience. Efficiency 1. It would cost us 2. We could go up to... Oh, we go up to 5. Okay. Now the advanced one we already have. We got it as a quest reward. And now we can get the quest for that. This thing looks like the same, but it looks like there's some kind of an anvil aspect to it. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it just repairs? We could find out. I'm pretty sure we have either the book, we have an eccentric tome, okay. With nothing in it, okay. That's the kind we have to, we would have to make. I know there's an Apotheosis guide, and I don't recognize it, though. I don't see it up there. Oh, wait. We have this eccentric tome. But it's, how do we do this? Okay, you left click with it. There's the Chronicle of Shadows. Okay, let's look up infusion enchanting. It's a new method of crafting. Okay, no, that's just the enchanting table stuff. Let's try enchantment library. That we just made. The enchanting module. Here's the table. Yeah. Anvil enchantments. Utility items. Yeah, I don't know what that thing does. Now the next thing that I want to look at are block upgrades for our bees. Wax blocks are easy, and we got plenty of wax. And let's see. We're gonna need to teach it item frames. Okay, now it's nighttime, so our bees aren't doing much right this second. We are going to make some powered centrifuges. With these guys, powered centrifuges, heated centrifuges. We will need inactive dragon eggs, though. Okay, there it is. I guess we shall see. How many of these we can make. I forgot about the inactive dragon eggs. Yeah. We're not getting quite enough draconic dust to really do this all the way. So what we might do is, there's nothing stopping us from putting it there, though. What we might do is give the draconic bees some productivity upgrades, which of course we need draconic dust for. Now I have some in here with our diamond bees, and we're in a much better place with diamonds than we were. So we're going to give half of them to the draconic bees. I don't think it'll take too long. Now, speaking of questline cleanup, I would like to see if we have the juice to make ourselves a netherite jetpack. It's going to be about whether we have enough netherite, which I don't think we quite do yet. Yeah, we're 3 short, so that won't take long. Alright. 1 netherite jetpack. Holds a ton of power. Now the next thing I want to work on is some better processing. I want to get more out of the ores, and I want to do it more hands-free. That's all going to begin with an electrolytic separator. And we're going to need an electrolytic core, and we're going to need to teach this thing how to make iron dust. I think the sag mill will be the way to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and craft up the core first. It's just waiting for some infused alloy. I'm not sure if there's a quest for it or not. The Mekanism quest line is awful busy. Okay, so 1 electrolytic separator. Now another thing we're going to want are some chemical tanks. So let's see, yeah, here we go. Basic chemical tank. We're going to teach it this. We're going to teach it the advanced. We're going to teach it the elite. And we're going to teach this thing the ultimate. And I'm going to go ahead and make them all in turn to get credit for the quests. Our electrolytic separator is finished. Okay, we got a quest for that. Very good. And I'm making up 2 ultimate tanks. We are also going to want to make some gas pipes, which we should have. Gas pipes. Wonderful. Not that expensive. Let's craft up some of those. Oh, we have some. Cool. Now this guy has a double trade. It's not, oh, it's 64 diamonds, not a diamond sword. So that's why it didn't work that time. But I definitely want to know if the 2 item trades work, first of all. Okay, yeah, that'll narrow it down to it at least definitely being an issue with the Apotheosis coins. Now we're gonna make another stack of books and get these awesome enchantments off of this thing and into our enchantment library. Now sharpness 10 sounds pretty good. We've got a lot of sharpness in here. Now if we shift click, there we go. And we can keep taking it out as long. Oh, that used up almost all of it. Now I wonder how much experience we're gonna need to put it on our sword. Oh, just 24. Now we got a sharpness 10 sword that does, 20 attack damage. That'll one-shot a lot of vanilla mobs without even having to crit. The electrolytic separator is going to, among other things, allow us to get hydrogen and oxygen from water. We're going to take that in a purification chamber with which we'll use an enrichment chamber to craft it to get step 3 of the mechanism ore processing. Step 1 is just smelting, and step 2 is enriching the ore first. What? It's got strength 2. That's weird. Anyway, I don't know how much room we're gonna need here. We're gonna put an energy cube down, and we're just gonna run pipes like so. Set it to extract, and put a fancy pipe upgrade in here. We're gonna need one more of those for the solar panels. But on the end here, what we're going to have an energized smelter. We're going to have an enriching factory. And where's that other machine? Okay, we have the purification chamber, and we have a basic purifying factory, which we must have gotten as a quest reward at some point, so that's cool. Okay. So what we're going to want to do, we're going to want to get oxygen into this thing. So we will take a gas pipe, and we will run it to right here. Now right here, we're going to put an electrolytic separator, and we're going to put some chemical tanks on each side. And I think what we'll do is we'll just pump into it directly from the top with the sink. There we go. Where's my wrench? Alright. And now this thing is going to start getting water, and once we get the solar panels, it'll start getting power, and it'll start doing its thing. Alright. So, oxygen, hydrogen. Okay, so it's kind of doing the opposite of what we want it to do. We're going to switch these tanks around. This is our hydrogen tank, and this is our oxygen tank, and we're going to switch these outputs around. Where's the gas? There we go. We want that one to be output 1, and we want this one to be output 2. We're also going to set both of these to dump excess, so we will still, be able to produce oxygen if this hydrogen tank gets full, and vice versa. So now this thing, we could put some ore in here if we go ahead and allow it to input from the top, allow this to output from the top, and yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Now, if we wanted to move up to stage 4, we're going to need some of this stuff. We're going to need a lot of these. Thermal evaporation chamber is a big multi-block. We're going to want 1 thermal evaporation controller. We're going to want 2 valves. And I think we're going to start with 3 stacks of the blocks. Now, another thing that we're going to need are these solar generators, if I can find them. Yeah, advanced solar generators. We make these from solar generators, which, these are okay. They don't, they're not the best. Our solar panels from the mod that is purely solar panels are unsurprisingly better. But we're going to make 4 of these. Mekanism's great as like an everything mod, but some mods that specialize are going to be more powerful. I'll just put this thing over here. it'll be fine. So what we want here is 4x4 on the bottom, right? And we're going to go up with just a couple of spaces here where we're going to put some of those other blocks. Whoop. We want one more space over here. And then we're going to want valves somewhere. We're going to put them here. And we want an evaporation controller, somewhere. We're going to put it here. And maybe we go up one more. Or two more. Yeah, okay. Now it's recognized itself, and it's made the multi-block. So we can go up quite a bit higher, and we want to. I think we can go up to at least 18. Okay, and this is as high as we're going to go up. I don't think we've gone up as high as we can, but that's how many I made. We put these things up here. It's, again, a valid structure with these in the corners. And what they're going to do is they're going to heat this. Like, this is the amount of heat that we have in here. And you do better in deserts, badlands. You do terrible in, like, frozen places. So here's a valve. We're going to pump right into it with a sink, because that's what we want in here, is water. As we fill this with water, it will start to produce brine, as long as it's hot enough. Now we're going to pump the brine out into an ultimate tank. And, okay, that doesn't seem like it has... We'll pop, what was I saying? It doesn't seem like it has a, restrictions on how we pump in and out of it. So we'll pump in here. Now the ultimate destination of the brine is a chemical injection chamber, which is, okay, it's a purification chamber and some fanciness. So we're going to make one of those. We'll also need a chemical infuser. I may have just said that, I'm not sure. But this is all stuff we've seen before, basic tanks. Okay, we can't quite finish. We're a little low on osmium. But what we can do is show the three-step. We're going to turn eject on. Auto sort on, and inject on again. Eject on again. Okay, there they are. Is it gonna do it? Huh. Oh, we gotta put them into a crusher. Okay, we got a crusher here. So this is, I think, like 5 for 3 or something. It might be 7 for 3. We're going to turn eject on. But that's what you get at that stage. Now, we need to set up to make hydrogen chloride. So the first thing we'll need is a chemical infuser that's taking hydrogen and chlorine. Now we got hydrogen right here. And we got a chemical infuser right here. So let's get some gas pipes. We'll set it to extract. And we'll say, okay, that should be an input, right? And does this have a side config? Yes, it does. That's going to be an output. Now we got hydrogen in here. What we're going to need is chlorine. We're going to get chlorine from an electrolytic separator, which we're going to put, let's see. Oh, I got to get it. Okay. Here's our separator. And we have some more tanks. And we're going to want to be coming in from the top with our brine. And that was, I think, 1 brown up here. So let's set this to extract. Yep, it's filling up with brine. And it's putting the chlorine over there because of course it is. So let's, oh my gosh. What do you got? Let's switch the tanks. And we'll switch the outputs on the inside here. So let's see, gases. I want that to be output 2, that one to be output 1. Here's our chlorine. We'll send this in from this side. That'll be an output. Now we're making hydrogen chloride. Now what I think we're going to do is export this stuff directly on top. Oh, that's items. That's not going to help us. These are inputs, right? Output. Okay, so the hydrogen chloride's going right in there. Wonderful. That we'll set to export. And that'll be an output. We'll get the hydrogen chloride going into this chemical injection chamber, which will, well, let's see what it'll do for us. It's the 4th step, basically. If we had regular ore blocks, this would give us 4 for 1. With the chunks, it'll give us 12 for 5. So pretty good. Now the next step, going to tier 5, is the chemical dissolution chamber. And we're going to have to hook up all kinds of madness to this. Also, are we just getting refined obsidian from a bee? I forget. Doesn't look like it, so we may have to program a recipe in for that. Let's see what we have even. Okay, well, we have refined obsidian dust. Is that it? Well, I mean, we could make it an osmium compressor. We have an osmium compressor. I thought, though, we made like a bee or something. Now, another thing we're going to need is water vapor. And for that, we're going to need a rotary concentrator in a, fluid into gas. Sort of the conceit there. And I think finally, we're going to need a chemical oxidizer. This is a dynamic tank. We're using these fancy compact tanks, but the dynamic tanks are cool. But let's go ahead and make this. So we're going to want the sulfuric acid to be going into this tank and pumping into the dissolution chamber here, and then we'll pump ores in from the top, right? So let's go back and see. There's a lot of steps here, and I usually get them confused. Okay, an infuser for the sulfuric acid, right? So here's our infuser. And we're going to be wanting to put in water vapor from one side. So that'll be our rotary condensator. Maybe we could put that right here. And we'll pump water into it. We'll get another sink. Now, I think we want it to go this way, right? Yeah. That'll start filling the water. This will start giving us the water vapor. We'll stick a gas pipe right here. And we're going to want input, well, not input 2 to the right. Right's going to be an output. So we want, yeah, I think this is where we want the water vapor for it. It probably doesn't matter which one is in which, but that's the brown one, so that's, darn it. Input 2. And then we can set this to extract. We should see water vapor going in there. Now we will need sulfur trioxide going into a chemical infuser. Now for that we'll need oxygen. Okay, somewhere along the line there I got a little bit confused. I've forgotten a few steps. We're going to have to make also a chemical washer, right? And we're going to have to make a chemical dissolution chamber. I think we already made that. Okay, I might just be one machine off here. Okay, I forgot about the whole slurry portion of the show. We're also going to need a crystallizer. Is it 2 L's or is it 1? Is that it right there? Chemical crystallizer. Delightful. A little bit of fluoride. I'm sure we have a little bit of fluoride, right? Might even have a fluoride B out there. Oh, that's, that must be the last piece of the puzzle. Okay, so here's our crystallizer. Right? We're going to feed this thing clean slurry. Right? Gonna go into the chemical crystallizer. We're gonna need a chemical washer right next to it. So let's set this fluids. Okay. I guess it's a gas? Slurries. Okay, yeah, slurries. Eject on. That's what we want. And then we're gonna want water coming in here. So we'll take a sink, our good old friend, set it coming down there. There's the water. Now we're gonna get dirty slurry from a chemical dissolution chamber and sulfuric acid, and this is where we're gonna be putting the items in. So here's the dissolution chamber that we'd already put down. Where is it? It's here somewhere, right? Here it is. Now we're gonna have items, yeah, okay, that looks about right. This is what we have to give sulfuric acid to. So let's see. Right, go into the chemical dissolution chamber with raw whatever. But we're going to need sulfur trioxide into a chemical infuser along with water vapor. That we had the water vapor set up before, so let me deal with that. Okay, I think we have just about everything in a row here, except for one thing, which we'll get to. So let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to have sulfur coming in here. And this is going to change it into sulfur dioxide. Combining that with the oxygen will give us sulfur trioxide. We're getting oxygen from another electrolytic separator, oxygen right here. The dioxide will go in here with the water vapor to make, or the trioxide I should say. Wait, am I missing a step? This is where we make the trioxide, right? Yeah, okay. Very good, very good. So the trioxide and the water vapor, and we're getting the water vapor from just pumping water straight into a rotary condensator. That's turning it into the vapor for us. This will give us sulfuric acid, which we'll be putting in the dissolution chamber with our ores. What we don't have is sulfur. Now, we haven't even seen any sulfur. But it looks like we can get some by grinding up some coal in a sag mill. And we have a sag mill. So let's see. If we actually, yeah, there's a little bit. Okay, okay. Now there is a sulfur bee we could get by breeding a coal bee and a magmatic bee, and that's something that we should do. Alright. Now the bee, little sulfur bee, will pollinate off of coal ore. And we're going to make some in our combiner. So I guess we didn't need to make that little bit of sulfur in the sag mill at all. That's okay. What are we going to need here? Just 8 coal dust? Okay. Okay, so we have a little bit of sulfur. I don't know why it's trying to, why the item pipe's trying to connect to the solar panel. I want it to connect to this drawer. We're going to put the sulfur dust in there. We're going to send it in there. And let's see how we do here. Okay. Okay, so this is not set to output. But there we go. It's putting a little sulfur trioxide in here, which is going in here. So we're getting sulfuric acid in here. We have to set this pipe to extract. And this is an output. And now we're getting a little bit of sulfuric acid in here. And what's it doing? Oh, it doesn't have power. Of course it doesn't. We've got to set this to an output. This took up more room than I thought it would. We probably could have made it more compact, but, you know, it's a nice little line here. Starting to give the roof a little bit of character. Now, we're not going to get much. Like, it's going to take, what, for 3? It's going to take 10 buckets for each 30. And we've got, what is it, 10 buckets, 2 buckets? Well, we don't have a lot yet. And it's the sulfur that's always sort of the pinch point for this. But we're starting to get some from bees. And that will help us out. So let's, every 3 gold in here will get us, 2 buckets worth of slurry, which will process up each 200 millibuckets of slurry will turn into a crystallizer. Like, we'll see when it crystallizes, it'll go down by about 200. And then the crystal gets the hydrogen chloride, which we have from our brine setup down there. It'll come over here and get purified with oxygen, come into the crusher, energized smelter. We're getting 20 for 3. And we'd get 5 for 1 regular ore block, or, that generates in the world, like if we got it with Silk Touch. But once we get a little more sulfur production together, this will be the way that we want to process our rarer ores. And I think that's going to about do it for this time, folks. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.